Nearly 6 decades have passed since the USS Enterprise first boldly went where no one had gone before in Star Trek, 1966 to 1969. This groundbreaking sci-fi series not only changed television forever but also turned its cast into cultural icons. As we reach 2025, fans are still captivated by the legacy of Captain Kirk, Spock, and the rest of the crew. What became of the actors who brought these beloved characters to life? From their personal journeys to their lasting impact on the world of entertainment, join us as we explore what happened to the legendary cast 59 years later. Leonard Nimoy was born on March 26, 1931. He played Mr. Spock in Star Trek, 1966, starting his iconic role at the age of 35. Nimoy's Spock became a cultural icon, symbolizing the balance between emotion and logic with his half-Vulcan, half-human heritage. However, Nimoy's personal life was fraught with challenges. He faced a difficult relationship with his first wife, Sandra Zober, whom he married in 1954. The marriage ended in 1983 after nearly 30 years, partly due to his demanding work schedule and personal struggles with balancing his professional and family life. His second marriage to Susan Bay in 1989 was more successful, but his later years were marked by health problems. He struggled with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, and was open about his condition in his final years. He passed away on February 27, 2015, at the age of 83, due to complications from the disease. Despite the ups and downs of his personal life, Nimoy's legacy as Spock remains unparalleled, and his impact on popular culture continues to resonate. DeForest Kelley was born on January 20, 1920. He played Dr. Leonard Bones McCoy in Star Trek, 1966, at the age of 46. Kelley's portrayal of the gruff yet compassionate ship's doctor became a fan favorite. However, his personal life was filled with both triumphs and hardships. Kelley's first marriage, to Carolyn, was often strained, and he struggled to find roles that matched the success he achieved with McCoy. His acting career, while successful, was overshadowed by personal challenges, including a battle with self-doubt. In his later years, Kelley faced a devastating diagnosis of stomach cancer, which he fought with resilience. Despite his illness, Kelley continued to make public appearances and remained a beloved figure in the Star Trek community until his death on June 11, 1999, at the age of 79. Kelley's passing marked the loss of one of the original Star Trek cast members, and his portrayal of McCoy remains integral to the series' legacy. James Doohan, born on March 3, 1920, was 46 years old when he began portraying the iconic character of Chief Engineer Scotty in Star Trek, 1966. Known for his resourcefulness and famous line, "I'm giving her all she's got, Captain." Doohan's life before and after Star Trek was filled with both triumph and turmoil. He was a decorated war hero, but his early life was marked by hardships, including the loss of a finger during World War II. Doohan had a troubled marriage to Janet Young, with whom he had 2 children before they divorced. His second marriage to Wendy Doohan also ended in difficulties. James battled with alcoholism for much of his life, and his struggles with health became more pronounced in his later years. Despite these challenges, Doohan continued to embrace his role as Scotty and remained active in the Star Trek community until his health declined. He passed away on July 20, 2005, at the age of 85, after suffering from pneumonia and Alzheimer's disease. Nichelle Nichols, born on December 28, 1932, was 34 years old when she began her groundbreaking role as Uhura in Star Trek, 1966. Nichols' portrayal of the communications officer was historic as she was one of the first African-American women to hold such a significant role on a major TV series. Despite her success, Nichols' personal life was filled with struggles. She had a troubled marriage to actor Foster Johnson, which ended in divorce, and she had one son, Kyle Johnson. Nichols also faced battles with depression, which she spoke about openly later in life, as well as health challenges, including dementia. Her career had its ups and downs, with periods of financial instability and doubts about her future in Hollywood. Nichols retired from acting for a time, but her passion for Star Trek led her to return to conventions and speaking engagements. In her later years, she dealt with significant health issues, and in 2022, she passed away on July 30th at the age of 89, after a long battle with dementia. Eddie Paskey, born on August 20th, 1939, was 27 years old when he appeared as Lieutenant Leslie in Star Trek, 1966. While Paskey's role was often seen as a minor one, he became a beloved figure among Star Trek fans for his unwavering reliability and presence. Off-screen, however, Paskey's life was marked by personal struggles. His early relationships were filled with disappointment, and he had a number of failed marriages. Paskey also faced financial challenges, particularly as his career after Star Trek never reached the same heights as his time on the show. In addition to these difficulties, he wrestled with self-doubt about his acting career. Despite his personal tribulations, Paskey remained close to the Star Trek fandom, attending conventions and enjoying the ongoing legacy of the series. He passed away on August 17, 2021, at the age of 81. Machel Barrett was born on February 23, 1932, and played Nurse Christine Chapel in Star Trek, 1966, a role that showcased her calm professionalism and dedication. At 34 years old when she joined the cast, Barrett's life had already been marked by both personal and professional struggles. As an actress, she faced frequent typecasting, often relegated to supporting roles, despite her talent. Her marriage to Gene Roddenberry, the creator of Star Trek, was a source of both personal fulfillment and strain. They had a son, Rod Roddenberry, but their marriage endured significant pressure, particularly from Roddenberry's demanding career and their complex personal dynamics. Despite these difficulties, Barrett's dedication to Star Trek never wavered, as she continued to appear in various roles within the franchise. However, her later years were marked by sadness as she was diagnosed with leukemia. Barrett passed away on December 18, 2008, at the age of 76, after a long battle with the disease. Grace Lee Whitney was born on April 1, 1930. She portrayed Yeoman Janice Rand in Star Trek, 1966, a role that made her an unforgettable part of the series. At 36 years old when she started filming, Grace was already an accomplished actress with years of experience. However, her life was filled with personal struggles, including a traumatic experience of sexual assault early in her career, which she later opened up about in interviews. This, combined with her struggle with alcoholism, led to her departure from Star Trek after its first season. Despite these setbacks, Grace tried to rebuild her life and career, facing many difficult years. She married twice, but both marriages ended in divorce, and she did not have children. One of her most heart-wrenching moments came with the death of her mother, which left her devastated. In later years, Grace found some solace attending Star Trek conventions and reconnecting with her fans, receiving much-needed recognition. She passed away on May 1, 2015, at the age of 85, due to natural causes. Vic Perin was born on April 26, 1916. He played Metron in Star Trek's 1966 episode Arena, where he portrayed a mysterious and omnipotent alien. At the time, he was 50 years old and had already established himself as a versatile voice actor and character actor. Vic's career spanned multiple decades, and he was known for his distinctive voice, lending it to numerous television shows, films, and radio programs. However, Vic's personal life was often fraught with difficulty. His first marriage ended in divorce, and while he remarried later, that relationship also faced struggles, leading to separation. Despite his professional success, he battled personal demons, including the grief of losing close friends and family members over the years. Vic's career, though marked by success, was not without its lows, and he found it difficult to achieve the same level of prominence in his later years. After his health declined, he was diagnosed with cancer and passed away on July 4, 1989, at the age of 73. Barbara Baldwin was born on October 18, 1938. She played Angela in Star Trek, 1966, beginning her role at the age of 28. Angela was a compassionate crew member, known for her dedication and poise in critical moments. However, behind her professional success, Barbara faced her own struggles. She married fellow actor Steve Stevens in the early 1960s, and the couple had 2 children, a son named Timothy and a daughter named Sarah. Unfortunately, her marriage ended in divorce in the mid-1970s due to the strain of her career and personal issues. Following the divorce, Barbara struggled to maintain a consistent acting career, often taking roles in lesser-known productions. In her later years, she faced health issues and spent much of her time in private life. Barbara passed away on March 31, 2024, at the age of 85, due to congestive heart failure. She was remembered fondly by Star Trek fans for her portrayal of Angela, even if her life off-screen was marked by personal hardships. Hagen Beggs was born on March 19, 1937. He played Lieutenant Hansen in Star Trek, 1966, starting his role at the age of 29. Lieutenant Hansen was known for his technical skills and calm under pressure, making him a trusted member of the crew. Beggs had a passion for acting from a young age, but his career was fraught with ups and downs. He married twice, first to actress Diane Morgan, with whom he had 1 daughter, and later to Patricia Black, with whom he had 2 more children. However, both of his marriages were troubled, with divorce marking the end of both unions. Beggs' career was largely overshadowed by personal struggles, and after Star Trek, he appeared in a variety of television and film roles, though none as iconic as Lieutenant Hansen. He lived a relatively quiet life in his later years, far from the Hollywood spotlight. He passed away on September 16, 2016, at the age of 79. Despite his technical prowess as Lieutenant Hansen, his life was filled with personal challenges that affected his happiness and career. Roger C. Carmel was born on September 27, 1932, and played the role of Harry Mudd in Star Trek, 1966. He was 34 years old when he first appeared as the charming and mischievous con artist, a role that would become one of his signature performances. Carmel's career had its share of ups and downs. He found some success on the stage and in television, but he was often typecast in comedic or villainous roles. Off-screen, his life was marked by personal turmoil, particularly in his relationships. He married twice but faced difficulties in maintaining long-lasting marriages. He did not have children, and his personal life was often filled with conflict and disappointment. Carmel also struggled with substance abuse issues, which exacerbated his personal and professional difficulties. Despite his issues, he remained a popular figure on television. Unfortunately, his life was cut short when he passed away on November 11, 1986, at the age of 54, from hypertensive heart disease. Malachi Throne was born on December 1, 1928. He played Commodore Jose Mendez in Star Trek, 1966, starting at the age of 38. Throne was a distinguished actor, known for his deep voice and commanding presence, which made him ideal for the role of a high-ranking officer in Starfleet. His career, however, was not without difficulty. Throne was married to actress Janet Smith for several years, but the couple divorced after enduring years of personal and professional stress. They had 2 children, a son named Robert and a daughter named Elizabeth. In the 1980s, Throne struggled with financial problems after several business ventures failed, and his acting career slowed down. His personal life saw its own tragedies, with the loss of a close friend and a bitter custody battle over his children. In 2013, he was diagnosed with lung cancer, and despite a valiant battle, he passed away on March 13, 2013, at the age of 84. His death marked the end of an era for a talented actor who had often played authoritative figures, yet whose life was marred by personal loss and adversity. Bart LaRue was born on January 23, 1932. He played the announcer in Star Trek, 1967, lending his commanding voice to the series and contributing to its gravitas. At 35 years old during filming, Bart was already an established voice actor, but his career did not reach the heights that some might have expected. His personal life was marked by deep emotional struggles, including depression and the breakdown of 2 marriages, both of which ended in divorce. These personal issues were compounded by a profound tragedy when his son died in a car accident, an event that shook him to the core. While Bart continued to work in voice acting, these personal losses and emotional burdens often weighed heavily on him. Despite his professional success, his family life remained fractured, and he struggled to find lasting peace. Bart passed away on January 5, 1990, at the age of 57, from a heart attack, leaving behind a legacy of memorable voice work, but also a life marked by profound personal sorrow. Mark Lenard was born on October 15, 1924, and portrayed the Romulan commander in Star Trek, 1966. At the time, Lenard was 42 years old. His portrayal of the Romulan commander left a lasting impression as one of the few recurring antagonists to challenge Captain Kirk. Lenard's career, which spanned several decades, included both film and television roles, but his life was not without hardship. His first marriage ended in divorce, and he later remarried, though his second marriage was fraught with difficulties. Lenard had 2 children, but his personal relationships suffered as he struggled with the pressures of his career. In the 1980s, Lenard faced a serious battle with multiple myeloma, a form of cancer that he fought for several years. He continued to act in television and film during his illness, but his health continued to decline. Mark Lenard passed away on November 22, 1996, at the age of 72. William Campbell was born on October 30, 1923. He played Kellet, the strategic and cunning Klingon commander, in Star Trek in 1967. At 44 years old when he started filming, William had already established himself in Hollywood, but his career had its ups and downs. Known for his villainous roles, he often portrayed characters with great depth, but his personal life was more troubled than his on-screen persona. William's first marriage ended in divorce after years of conflict, leaving him estranged from his children. His second marriage fared no better, and he struggled with the pain of losing a child to a tragic illness. These personal setbacks cast a shadow over his career, and though he found work in television and film, it was often in supporting roles. William's most tragic moment was the early loss of his youngest child, an event that haunted him for the rest of his life. He passed away on April 28, 2011, at the age of 87 due to natural causes, leaving behind a legacy as one of the most memorable Klingon characters in Star Trek. Morgan Woodward was born on September 16, 1925. He played Captain Tracy in Star Trek in 1966. Morgan was 41 years old during filming and had already built a successful career in both television and film. However, his personal life was filled with tragedy. He experienced a series of failed marriages, the most painful of which was his second, which ended after years of emotional strain and infidelity. Morgan struggled with his relationship with his children, particularly his son, whom he lost to a drug overdose. His career, though consistent, was marred by a typecasting that left him longing for more complex roles. His most significant life tragedy was the unexpected death of his mother, which left him emotionally devastated. Morgan never fully recovered from these personal losses, which affected his ability to maintain a healthy family life. He passed away on February 22, 2019, at the age of 93, having led a life marked by both professional achievement and profound personal sorrow. Lawrence Montaigne was born on February 26, 1931. He played Decius, the loyal Romulan officer in the 1966 Star Trek episode Balance of Terror. At the age of 35, Lawrence was already a seasoned actor with a wealth of experience in television and film. His portrayal of Decius, a strategic and loyal officer, showcased his ability to bring complexity to roles, yet his personal life was anything but straightforward. Lawrence grew up in a turbulent family environment, which set the stage for his own relationship struggles in adulthood. He was married twice, but both unions ended in divorce, and he had children, though his relationships with them were not always easy. Throughout his career, Lawrence faced a constant battle against typecasting, which often led to limited roles in his later years. His personal life was marked by financial instability, and he struggled with the realities of aging in a competitive industry. As he grew older, Lawrence became more private, retreating from public life to focus on personal matters. He passed away on March 17, 2017, at the age of 86. Skip Homeier was born on October 5, 1930. He portrayed Melicon in the 1968 Star Trek episode Bread and Circuses, a manipulative and ruthless leader known for his authoritarian rule. Skip was 38 years old when he joined the Star Trek cast, a time when his career was beginning to hit its stride after early roles in Hollywood. As a child star, he faced a mix of early success and the pressures that came with it, and his life was never devoid of personal struggles. Skip's early years were difficult, with a strained relationship with his family, particularly his father, who was often absent. His career, though successful in parts, was marred by periods of underemployment and frustration as he struggled to shed his typecasting. Skip had a brief marriage in his early adult years, but it ended in divorce. He had one child from this marriage, though his relationship with them was distant. The actor faced personal turmoil as well, with health issues later in life, compounded by a difficult emotional period when he lost close friends. He passed away on June 25, 2017, at the age of 86, due to spinal myelopathy. Pete Kellet was born on November 4, 1922, and played the role of Kirk's henchman in Star Trek, 1967. At the time, he was 45 years old. Kellet's career was mainly built around supporting roles in both television and film, where he often portrayed tough and authoritative figures, reflecting his imposing physical presence. However, his life off-screen was marked by a series of personal struggles. His marriage to actress Miriam Kellet ended in divorce, and they had no children. Kellet also faced numerous financial difficulties throughout his life, and despite his steady work in Hollywood, he was never able to achieve the fame or financial security he had hoped for. His later years were clouded by health problems, and he struggled with a deep sense of isolation. Tragically, he passed away on August 7, 1982, at the age of 59, after suffering a heart attack. His death was somewhat overshadowed by his lack of widespread recognition in the industry, though his role in Star Trek remains one of his most memorable. John Lormer, born on May 7, 1906, was 60 years old when he portrayed Dr. Theodore Haskins in Star Trek, 1966. His role as the knowledgeable scientist was vital, offering important scientific insight to the crew during critical moments. Lormer's career spanned many decades, beginning in the 1930s and seeing him appear in countless films and television shows. However, his personal life was far less stable. Lormer faced several challenges in his early years, including the loss of both parents at a young age. He had a difficult relationship with his first wife, leading to a painful divorce. Later, he remarried, but his second marriage was also marked by struggles, including financial issues and long separations. Lormer's later years were plagued by health problems, and he lived much of his life in relative obscurity after his Star Trek appearance. John Lormer passed away on March 19, 1986, at the age of 79, leaving behind a legacy in television but also a life filled with emotional turmoil and personal losses. Ted Cassidy, born on July 31, 1932, was 34 years old when he took on the memorable role of Balok's puppet in Star Trek, 1966. Known for his towering stature and deep voice, Cassidy's portrayal of the puppet, which was used to deceive the crew, left a lasting impression on Star Trek fans. However, Cassidy's personal life was marked by both professional success and personal struggle. Despite his fame, he was a deeply private person and had a tumultuous relationship with his family. His marriage to actress and model, Marguerite Margot Cassidy, ended in divorce after years of emotional strain. Cassidy was also haunted by personal health challenges, which contributed to his struggles with depression. His life was cut tragically short when he passed away on January 16, 1979, at the age of 46, due to complications following heart surgery, leaving behind a lasting impact on the entertainment industry. Jerry Catron, born on February 22, 1932, was 35 years old when he played Montgomery in Star Trek, 1967. He portrayed a loyal and steadfast crew member, embodying the essence of a reliable officer on the USS Enterprise. Despite his solid portrayal, Catron's life off-screen was filled with personal hardships. He faced struggles in his early career, with few acting opportunities, which led to financial instability. In his personal life, Catron's marriage was a turbulent one, marked by disagreements and misunderstandings. Though he had children, his family life was far from ideal, with tensions rising between him and his spouse. He later faced serious health challenges, which made it difficult for him to work consistently in the years after Star Trek. Despite these hardships, Catron remained a steadfast member of the Star Trek community. Jerry Catron passed away on May 6, 2017, at the age of 85, following a prolonged period of declining health. William Shatner was born on March 22, 1931. He played Captain James T. Kirk in Star Trek, 1966, taking on the role at the age of 35. Shatner's portrayal of the courageous and often impulsive Kirk became one of the most iconic characters in television history. Beyond Star Trek, Shatner faced many personal challenges. He married 4 times, with his first marriage to Gloria Rand ending in divorce in 1969 after 13 years and 3 daughters. His third marriage, to Nerine Kidd in 1997, was marked by tragedy when she died in 1999 under mysterious circumstances, with reports indicating she accidentally drowned. His grief over her death was profound, and it took him years to recover emotionally. Shatner later remarried Elizabeth Martin in 2001, and their relationship was still ongoing in the years before his 94th birthday. Despite these hardships, Shatner has continued his career as an actor, author, and spokesperson. As of 2025, he remains a prominent figure in the entertainment world, beloved by Star Trek fans and still active in television and film. George Takei was born on April 20, 1937, and portrayed the role of Sulu, the helmsman of the USS Enterprise, in Star Trek, 1966. At 29, he embarked on his iconic journey in the series. Takei's early life was marked by a traumatic experience. Along with his family, he was forcibly relocated to an internment camp during World War II due to his Japanese-American heritage. His personal life later saw challenges, particularly in the public eye. George had to confront the long period of hiding his sexuality before publicly coming out in 2005. He later married his partner, Brad Altman, in 2008, after same-sex marriage was legalized in California. Though a passionate advocate for LGBTQ+ rights, Takei's family life wasn't without its struggles, as he often spoke about the tension in his relationship with his father, who did not fully accept his homosexuality. Over the years, Takei has become a beloved figure, using his voice for social justice, but his path has been colored with both personal and public battles. Currently, at 87 years old, George Takei remains active in advocating for human rights and living in California with his husband. Walter Koenig was born on September 14, 1936, and played Pavel Chekhov, the energetic and youthful navigator of the Enterprise, beginning in 1967. At the time, he was 31 years old. Koenig's life, however, has been marred by tragedy. Early in his career, after the success of Star Trek, he faced struggles in securing substantial roles, a situation which led to financial difficulties and personal doubts about his professional path. In his personal life, Koenig's marriage to Judy Leavitt, which took place in 1965, appeared promising, but it was deeply affected by the tragic loss of their son, Andrew, in 2010, who committed suicide. This devastating event led Koenig to speak openly about the struggles of coping with grief and the mental health challenges that often remain unaddressed. His personal heartbreak was compounded by the fact that Andrew's death marked a tragic chapter in his life, leaving the family in deep mourning. Today, at 88 years old, Koenig continues to write and act, but the pain of his son's death and the struggles in his career leave a lasting impact. Barbara Babcock was born on February 27, 1937. She played Beta in the 1967 Star Trek episode The Menagerie. At the time of filming, she was 30 years old. Barbara began her career with high hopes, quickly establishing herself as a versatile actress. However, her journey through Hollywood was not without difficulties. She struggled with typecasting, which often left her with limited opportunities. In her personal life, Barbara faced challenges in her relationships, including a marriage that ended in divorce. Though she has one child, her family life was often marked by privacy and complexity. Despite these personal struggles, she maintained a steady career in television, earning recognition for her strong performances in roles ranging from dramatic to comedic. Her life was not without heartache, with periods of financial instability and the emotional toll of navigating a demanding career. Barbara is now 87 years old and has largely stayed out of the public eye in recent years, living a more private life in retirement, focusing on personal well-being. Shan Kenny was born on March 13, 1944. He portrayed Captain Christopher Pike in Star Trek's 1966 episode The Cage and the 1966 two-part episode The Menagerie. He was just 22 years old at the time, playing a commanding officer in his first major role. Shan's early career in Hollywood promised much, but he soon found himself facing the reality of typecasting, often being cast in similar authoritative roles. Though he was successful in the early stages of his career, his personal life was marked by troubled relationships. His marriage, which seemed hopeful at first, ended in divorce, and he was distant from his children. Despite his star-making role in Star Trek, Shan's career began to wane, and he found it difficult to secure significant work, leading to financial struggles. His battles with personal demons and professional dissatisfaction made his journey a bittersweet one. Shan is currently 80 years old, living quietly and reflecting on a life that saw both triumph and disappointment. Diana Muldaur was born on August 19, 1938. She played in Mulhall in Star Trek in 1968. At 30 years old during filming, Diana was a well-regarded actress, but her personal life was filled with significant challenges. She portrayed a composed and intelligent officer, yet behind the scenes, her life was far from serene. Diana had several turbulent relationships, with 2 marriages ending in divorce. She was deeply affected by the breakdown of her second marriage, which involved a prolonged and painful custody battle over her children. Her career, though successful, suffered from her troubled emotional state and a series of professional setbacks. One of the most tragic episodes of Diana's life occurred when she lost her sister in a sudden and unexpected accident, an event that caused her to retreat from the public eye for a while. As of 2025, Diana is 86 years old. While she remains reclusive, she has occasionally made appearances at Star Trek conventions, yet her personal struggles have often overshadowed her accomplishments. Who is your favorite character from Star Trek? How do you feel knowing that some of the actors have passed away? Don't hesitate to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this content, please remember to like, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you won't miss future videos. Thank you so much.